What's up, y'all? It's Dr. Koba, and we're starting a new release series. We're starting a series to go along with the Grateful Dead's 60th anniversary box set, Enjoying the Ride, that just came out. And I wanted to go through the shows that I hear one by one and kind of just give them a review, uh, opinionated hippie style. The I did not see the original version of the Grateful Dead. Certainly a Deadhead. Saw my fair share of Dead and Company shows, as the posters back there can attest to. Along with, I saw The Dead with old boy Warren Haynes in 2009 twice. So I was lucky to be able to see those. Should have seen them in 03, 04, but I was too young. Couldn't get there. Still in high school. So I think I wanted to. Was listening to the 1994 show and the 93 show, and I wanted to review them because I feel like those aren't ones I would go towards when I'm listening to the Dead, and I feel like this one here, Boston Garden, Boston Garden, 1994. It's a 10/3/94. I know it's a famous run of at least that month. Jerry Garcia was alive and playing guitar instead of just standing on stage with a guitar dead, trying to play it. And that's not a knock. That's just the way it, it's unfortunately you hear a man who's diminished on the tapes. Being there's a different thing, but on the tapes they say something else about him and his ability to show up and not at the end there. So I can understand being memory holding these and being like, that is a guy who can't do it anymore, and that's too bad. And you can hear that here a little bit, but you can also hear the band themselves coming together to lift him up and to support him. And it's hard to listen to from the standpoint of if you compare Jerry Garcia's work to a year or two earlier, he's a shadow of himself, and that's really something else. But that was his decisions to make. So don't know anything about that. Wasn't there. I was 9 years old when he died. So what I can say though is, we start with Touch of Grey, and we kind of rocky start for Jerry. He forgets where his guitar solo is, and he starts doing third verse instead of the guitar solo, and they figure it out. He figures out, and they fix it, and they come in and they do the correct order, and the guitar solo is there. So Vince helps him out. It's good. They get through the song, and they go straight into Beat It On Down the Line. A bunch of different, they're pretty savage, and the energy is pretty high already. You can tell like something happened here where they feel like bumped up a little. So it's a good version of Beat It On Down the Line. You got a good version of Loose Lucy. Not one of my favorites, but you've got a good rocking Jerry Garcia thing happening. Same can be said for Little Red Rooster. The band sounds good. Jerry sounds good. They're playing good stuff. Here's Childhood End, which is Phil writing his own stuff. Might not have been one that he wants to ever go back and revisit ever again. The fact that they even have it on here is interesting, and they chose one with this. Who knows how many, like 4 or 5? I don't know. I'm sure if somebody watches this and they're a more giant fan than I am, they would know how many times they played Childhood's End. I would have gone to the bathroom maybe. But with that being said, you've got different material, you've got a different band, you've got a different thing happening, and it's tantalizing what they could have turned into had Jerry not passed away. Dire Wolf sounds pretty good. Jerry's making it through this stuff. Might not be the strongest, but he's making it through. You got Bob on acoustic guitar on Black Throated Wind. Jerry sounds good. Band sounds good. They go into a bird song that has some very neat spaces to get into and worth listening to. It's again, my take on this is that it's a tantalizing moment of what could have happened if they were allowed to gel and not, but they weren't. So we have set two, we got Box of Rain. When you're seeing Box of Rain, that you got a band that's feeling it, like they wanted to play tonight. They showed up to play, and they did. The Box of Rain sounds good. They go into Shakedown Street, funky, good stuff, solidly focused. The energy's high, and Jerry's doing it. Then they play one of these weird song version second sets. Like they open with Box, they go into Shakedown Street, party's going. Then they go into Cassidy, which is probably there's this Cassidy going down the road feeling bad couplet, which in and of itself is bizarre for them at that time. And so you got good energy, you've got them feeling good and playing some different stuff. It's all very much on point. The Cassidy, even if it is brief, there's some psych energy there that is very interesting. And then you got Drums in Space, where it just sounds bizarre and atonal, and electronica music, where that stuff's unimpeachable. That's why you would go to see the Dead. Like that stuff is unique and very good. The space sounds awesome. There's freeform noise stuff that is why you listen to the Grateful Dead. Hi, how you doing? Oh my goodness. Anyway, it goes into from space. We go into the wheel. You can hear them kind of starting the wheel a little bit through the crazy electronic haze, and the wheel's good. They go into Watchtower. You have a band minus Jerry Garcia that is very hyped up and very professionally polished and can do this material. Jerry kind of alternates between burning and trying to figure out his sound and trying to figure out, do I play chords with this? Do I play single lines with this? And not really hitting the chords because Bob's playing pretty quickly. So it is interesting to hear from that perspective. Kind of rocked out, good stuff, not bad. They should have done this more often. They went into Attics of My Life after that. Great version, good American Beauty stuff. Like amazingly, the fact that they did that, well sung, well played, very good. Around and Around, it is what it is. Sounds good. Never been the biggest fan. I was hyped when I saw Bob Weir and Wolf Brothers play it in Denver, in Colorado in 2022. The only time I never saw like Dead and Company do it. So yeah, that's Signal's a very good rock, and that's the Wrap It Up rock number, and they do it very good. Then they come back with Broke Down Palace again. Saw Dead and Company do that a million times as the encore. Just good stuff. Jerry's there. And if I had been at this concert in 1994, I would have been very happy. Been like, yes, they actually showed up. They played good. They played well. And they played stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see in that, maybe in that order, in that lineup at that point in time. So some different material. Jerry's struggling, but he makes it. But it's all kind of alternating, which makes it fascinating because the energy is real high, and it's all kind of focused on whether one man's going to be able to get through the song or not. And it more than likely, he does, and he makes those flips through the air and lands on his feet. Sometimes he doesn't, and sometimes he kind of stumbles when he did it, but he was able to do it. He's putting the work in, putting the time in. So I would say yes on this one. Greatest show of all time, no, but I don't think that exists. I think you have humans making music, and on any given night it might be good and it might not be. And when it's good, there's nothing else in the world like it, and when it's not, there's also nothing else in the world like that either. So if you're able to somehow track this one down, go ahead and track it down. you can go ahead and do that if you want. I'm going to continue trying to do these videos and kind of go over. I have to listen to them first, so it's, you know, it's going to take a while, but I kind of wanted to do this as some thoughts on these things, because there's 60 CDs to go through, and it's not like, and I also have Dave's picks coming. A lot of material, you know, a lot of stuff. I got a lot of thoughts, so just wanted to put those out there. Like, share, subscribe. Have a good night, y'all.